What's up, YouTube? Tim Movies here. Of course, last month, 2 months ago, I did do my best lead performances, but I've got to do disappointing ones. So a little bit late for these videos, but hey, better late than never, I guess. Here are my official top 10 favorite best supporting male performances of 2022. So that being said, here are the list. All right. Coming in at number 10, I'm going to go with Rory Kinnear for Men. Now, I did not really love Men as some people did, or some people didn't, and all that. But Rory Kinnear, I mean, this guy literally played multiple characters, and he played all of them perfectly. He really embodied these characters well. Rory Kinnear, of course, has had a great career from stuff like not Ray Donovan, Penny Dreadful, Spectre. Of course, his father, by the way, played Mr. Salt in Willy Wonka, so he definitely has a great Hollywood career right there. Uh, but yeah, he was really good in this. I mean, Alex Garland directed him perfectly in this. I mean, really, really good performances. Not great film, but the performance, Jesse Buckley was great, but I think Rory Kinnear, he played, he really gave it his all. All right, number 9, I'm gonna go with Mark Rylance for Bones and R. Mark Rylance was amazing in this. I think he was even good in this more than he was in British Spies, which he won his Oscar for that. But yeah, Mark Rylance really nailed his part perfectly in this. He was so creepy here. I mean, Luigi Gargano directed him well. Mark Rylance has had a really great sensible career, whether it's like Bridge of Spies, the BFG, but this is maybe one of his best performances in my opinion. He really is so terrifying here. He worked with Luca Josina perfectly. He also just got nominated for a Independent Spirit Award recent. A little odd he did not get no Oscar love, but hey, he was still great in this nonetheless. All right, number 8, I'm gonna go with Eddie Redmayne for The Good Nurse. Eddie Redmayne was amazing in this. I mean, the movie itself was just okay, but Eddie Redmayne gave it his all. He was, of course, playing a real life doctor who killed his patients. He really was so terrifying here. The stuff he goes through in this is insane. Eddie Redmayne, of course, won his Oscar for portraying Stephen Hawking, but seeing him go from Stephen Hawking's, to real life serial killer is interesting turnaround right there. But yeah, really decent performance here. Of course, he gave his all with Jessica Chastain, who was great as well. So really good performance. All right, number 7, I'm gonna go with Bobby Cannavale for Blonde. Now, Bobby Cannavale, of course, plays ended up playing on the role of Marilyn Rose's ex, and who was like, from the looks of it, was very overprotective. He of course he played former baseball star Joe Domingo, and Bobby Cannavale. Everyone's talk about Ana de Armas, who was great and everything. No one's talk about how great Bobby Cannavale was in this. Yes, I know his character was not that great because how abusive he was towards Marilyn Monroe and all. But that does take away how good Bobby Cannavale was. I mean, he was really believable as his character. He was very scary at times. Stuff he done to on Mrs. Marilyn is very intense to watch. But Bobby is great in this. I mean, I love Bobby Cannavale. The guy could go from doing like dramatic stuff like Boardwalk Empire to doing some comedy stuff. Of course, he was in Ant-Man. Bobby Cannavale is always great, and here he was amazing. Should have gotten some Oscar love, but all right. Number 6, I'm gonna go with Anthony Hopkins for Armageddon Time. Now, Armageddon Time is another film that's didn't really get hardly any Oscar love, but Anthony Hopkins, whose screen time is very limited. But Anthony Hopkins, of course, playing the grandfather of the elite character. Anthony Hopkins, the screen times he put in this was amazing. He played his part really well. Of course, his chemistry with the young actor, forget the actor's name, but the one playing the young kid, I thought was great. Of course, Anthony Hopkins is also in that movie, The Sun, which I still haven't seen, but I have not been hearing great stuff about. That's like Anthony Hopkins is amazing in this one. Of course, he does have 2 Oscars for a reason, and to me, he's a great actor. So yeah, Hopkins is, in this, in my opinion, he was remarkable. And all right, number 5, I'm gonna go with Brad Pitt for Babylon. Now, Brad Pitt, of course, is playing a former silent movie director. I thought he was really remarkable in this. Of course, Brad Pitt did win his Oscar for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and great crazy that is actually his first ever Oscar he ever won. But Brad Pitt in this is amazing. The stuff he goes through in this is insane. His like scenes with the likes of Mark Robbie is great. Diego Calva, he was great pairing with. David Chazelle, of course, his movies has always had great performances. Like Damon Chazelle always gives good performances out of his actors, whether it's J.K. Simmons in Whiplash or Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone in La La Land, Ryan Gosling in First Man. And here, Brad Pitt really gives us all on this. He did not get any Oscar love, but hey, it is what it is. All right. Number 4, I'm going to go with Judd Hirsch for The Fabelmans. I mean, Judd Hirsch in this is insane. I mean, I thought, of course, he only had like very limited scenes, but the scenes he was in was amazing. His chemistry with the lead kid, I thought, was great. He's pretty much playing. I guess you could say he's technically playing Steven Spielberg's grandfather in this. And Judd Hirsch, like his career goes all the way back to like Taxi and obviously the Goldberg's most recent. And here he really plays all perfectly well. Of course, he just got an Oscar nomination, well deserved there. So, really good performance. All right, number 3, I'm gonna go with Paul Dano. And surprise, it's not for The Fabelmans. While yes, he was great in The Fabelmans, I don't think that was his best performance this year. My favorite performance of Paul Dano this year is actually in The Batman. I mean, here he's, of course, playing the Riddler, and he is so terrifying here. To me, he should have got an Oscar nomination not for The Fabelmans, for The Batman. He was remarkable in The Batman. He was so scary as his role, playing like a Saw-like character. I mean, of course, the scenes at Arkham I thought was terrifying to watch. I just really love Paul Dano in this, and I hope we see him as the Riddler again in the future, but we'll see. All right, number 2. This one, I was really conflicted to really add at number 1 because I know it's going to win the Oscar, and I love his comeback. Number 1, I'm going to go Ke-Huy Quan for Everything Everywhere All at Once. Now, granted, I do hope he wins the Oscar, but he's not my favorite supporting performance of this year, and I will get to that number 1 here in a bit. But Ke-Huy Quan, let me just say, what a great comeback this guy had. Of course, he is best known for playing Short Round, in Indiana Jones. Of course, Goonies fame. And his comeback story, like if you guys have not heard his comeback story and everything, it'll leave you tears. And him playing in this is amazing. I mean, Ke-Huy Quan, I think he is going to win Best Supporting Actor, and he deserves that. Of course, his chemistry with Michelle Yeoh is great. He's worked with Jamie Lee Curtis perfectly in this. I think he is remarkable in this film, nonetheless. He is so good, so his like emotion moments I thought was great. If he doesn't win the Oscar, I will be shocked, but I hope he does, in my opinion. All right, my number 1 favorite supporting performance of the year is literally not Ke-Huy Quan, which, like I said, I do hope he actually wins the Oscar. But the best supporting performance of the year, in my opinion, is literally Brendan Gleeson for The Banshees of Inisherin. Sorry for that. Just getting my water out. Anyway, yeah, Brendan Gleeson. I mean, this is maybe one of his best performances given in recent years. Of course, playing like Colin Farrell's best friend who literally threatens to actually cut off his fingers if he keeps talking to him and stuff like that. Of course, Banshees of Inisherin is literally my favorite movie of last year. and Brandon Gleeson plays his part well. Of course, he worked with Brian McDonough before in Bruise, and Brandon Gleeson is just amazing. I mean, his emotion scenes is great. He does such a great job at playing the emotions, at playing the comedic stuff at times too. I just think this is one of his best performances he's done, and if he actually does get win, well deserved, but I still think it's going to be Ke Huy Quan, but that's what I'm saying. But that's pretty much it. Here's my quick rundown. Number 10, Rory Kinnear for men. 9, Mark Rylance for Bones and Noah. 8, Eddie Redmayne for The Good Nurse. 7, Bobby Cannavale for Blonde. 6, Anthony Hopkins for Armageddon Time. 5, Brad Pitt for Babylon. 4, Judd Hirsch for The Fabelmans. 3, Paul Dano for the Batman. 2, Ke Huy Quan for Everything Everywhere All at Once. And number 1, Brandon Gleeson for The Banshees of Inisherin. Now, there's others I could have added, like I just saw Women Talking this week. Ben Whishaw, he was great in that. A few others ones I probably could have added. Let's see, who else here? Janice, the basketball guy in Hustler, he was great. I could have added Paul Dano for The Fabelmans, Barry Keoghan for Banshees. Lots of other ones I could have added. But let me leave you guys. What were some of your favorite supporting male performances of 2022? Drop comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for notification. This is Henry signing out.